Hello, Internet. It is I, Malik Aaron. Welcome back to the channel. Before we get into anything, about 2 hours ago, as I'm recording this, I found out some truly terrible news. Some really awful news. Pretty sure a lot of you have heard about it by now. I know everyone's going to talk about it tomorrow. But if you haven't heard yet, Chadwick Boseman, majority of you may know him for his role as T'Challa, aka Black Panther in the MCU. His character was introduced in Captain America Civil War. He had his own movie in 2018. Played a decent role in Infinity War. He was also known for roles, Jackie Robinson, 42, James Brown, Get On Up. Well, today I found out that he died. He passed away today at 43 years of age due to colon cancer, which, that hit me. It was like a sledgehammer to the chest. I never would have guessed ever that he was suffering from it. Apparently, he was suffering from it for about 4 years. I never knew he had cancer. And it's just, it's crazy. It's just, God, I don't even know what to say. It's just, it's insane. It's just, oh my God. I know his family is definitely going through a hard time right now and yeah, I would just like to give a moment of silence, out of respect for him. So I'm gonna do that right now. Moment of silence. Okay. I hate that I had to start this video on that note. I really do. I wish I didn't have to start a video out like this, but that's just what happened, and I thought it would be important to talk about it before we get into the rest of this news. So a couple hours ago before Chadwick's tragic death, this news popped up, as you see right here on the screen. Scream relaunch, Eyes 2022 release. Snake Eyes rolls to 2021. Paramount release date changes. So this is going to be very studio specific. We're only talking about Paramount for this video. And a little bit of Disney, technically. We'll talk about them too. What happened with The King's Man. But first, we're going to go over the new stuff. The thing is, I thought I was more or less done with the canceled series. After part 15, literally after part 15, movie theaters reopened again. Unhinged, New Mutants, and soon Tenet. I thought, the worst was over. But clearly I was wrong. It's just like that famous quote, just when I thought I was out, they pull me back in, and that's exactly what happened. So part sweet 16. Ugh. I'm just like, what now? Because there's not a whole lot of movies left in 2020. Let's be real. Majority of the calendar has moved either to premium VOD, 2021, 2022. 2020 is in shambles when it comes to movies. And a couple more that were supposed to come out this year have moved. Although I had a feeling they would move anyway. Yeah, but first things first. The G.I. Joe spinoff, Snake Eyes. This was supposed to come out October 23rd, 2020. It's now being moved an entire year to October 22nd, 2021. Now, I had a feeling something would happen to Snake Eyes. The reason why I say that is because even though the movie was going to be coming out like 2 months from now, there was no advertising. There was not a single trailer, teaser, clip, poster. I don't even think there's a logo, or at least not that I know of. So yeah, I was like, where is it? Like, theoretically, it should be out by now. So yeah, it doesn't surprise me that it moved an entire year in advance. And honestly, I don't really understand why they would make a spinoff of Snake Eyes. I know Snake Eyes is one of the most popular characters in G.I. Joe, but like the G.I. Joe movies have never been popular ever. Like the first one back in 2009, like that was 2009, god damn. 2009, they tried so hard to make that like the next Transformers because Transformers was so big back then, and it just didn't land. I mean, they made a sequel. They added The Rock and Bruce Willis, but even then, that only did okay. And they never did make that third GI Joe movie, and so I guess this is kind of like a way to reboot it. But I guess we'll see what happens to it next year when it comes out. But yeah, my hopes weren't very high for Snake Eyes, especially after dealing with the last two GI Joe movies. I didn't even see the second one. I've never seen the second one, mainly because I have no desire to see it. So yeah, that's Snake Eyes. Uh, Next is a new one, Scream. I've heard rumblings of a Scream 5 for a while. I've seen videos talking about it. I've heard news. I've heard rumors. But now it's 100% official. And it's just called Scream for some reason, because that's kind of confusing. It's like calling friggin' Halloween 2018 just Halloween. Like, it's very confusing. But now it's going to be coming out January 14th, 2022, Martin Luther King Jr. weekend. That's a very strange release date for a horror film. That's not the type of movie I'd release on that weekend. I mean, it's January. I mean, January is known for horror, mainly bad horror. But still, that's a kind of a weird choice. But yeah, Scream's coming back. Scream is making a comeback. Last one was about 10 years ago. Scream 4, nobody really cared. So we'll see what happens with Scream 5. Maybe it'll do well. Maybe it'll have a resurgence like Halloween, but I don't know. I guess it depends on how they present it. As like if this is going to work, they need to present it properly as oh, well, don't full on reboot it because rebooting Scream will turn off a lot of people. At least, well, apparently with David Arquette and Courtney Cox, they're in it, so it's not a reboot. It might be a soft reboot. It might ignore some other movies. It might pull it Halloween 2018 where it just ignores some of the sequels because 3 and 4 weren't particularly the greatest. I think it would be best to just ignore those and just make a sequel to 2. That's what I think. So they could do that, but I don't know. We'll see. There's a Lee Daniels movie. Really don't care all that much. Billie Holiday. Don't really care. Never heard of it. Have no real interest in it. Doesn't matter. All right, next big one. Clifford the Big Red Dog. This was supposed to come out November 13th. It's been moved back an entire year. What a surprise. To November 5th, 2021. Again, I had a feeling something would happen to it because, again, just like Snake Eyes, no marketing, no advertising, no nothing, when realistically there should be something out there, but there wasn't. So, again, it doesn't surprise me that they would move it. I don't know about Clifford. Clifford, I mean, I know Paramount just had success with the Sonic movie, but the thing is, the Sonic movie wouldn't have been successful if they didn't change his design. If they kept with that original design, it definitely would have failed. But no one knows what Clifford the Big Red Dog, no one knows what his design will look like. I mean, there's been like some on-set photos of just like this giant plastic dog, and it looks really weird, but I know it's just there as like a stand-in, because they do that sometimes with CGI characters. Like they put them in a certain spot, that way the actors see that, and then when you see it on screen, they're talking to CGI characters, they have eye contact on the CGI characters. So I know what they're doing. But I don't know about Clifford. We'll see. We have to see footage, the trailer. We need to see something before I have a real judgment call on it. But yeah, judging by Paramount's track record with Transformers and Ninja Turtles and Avatar: The Last Airbender, I wouldn't be too thrilled. I wouldn't be too excited personally. And oh my god, Paranormal Activity 7? Yes, 7. This was 7th one of these. It was supposed to come out next year, March 19th, 2021. It's now been pushed back. Guess what? Another year. What a shock. To March 4th, 2022. Why? Why? Why does the world need another Paranormal Activity movie? Who asked for another Paranormal Activity movie? The series ran itself into the ground. Like, it started out so hot with the first movie, the second, and the third. After that, everything took a nosedive. The fourth did way worse than 3. The Marked Ones, which was a spinoff, did way worse than 4. And then the final one, well, at least they said it was the final one, the Ghost Dimension, that did the worst out of all of them because, funny enough, back in 2015, Paramount had this strategy. I think it was Paranormal Activity and another movie, Scouts Apocalypse thing. I don't remember. It was like 2 movies, and their plan was to release them in theaters for like 2 weeks before they go straight to premium VOD. A lot of theaters were not on board with that. They straight up refused to show it, which is one of the reasons why it did so relatively poorly. But yeah, it's crazy to think that that was 2015. That was 5 years ago, and looking at it now, like, people, studios, like, they just don't care. Like, they will release their movie straight to premium VOD because theaters, it's a uncertain market right now. But yeah, it's crazy. It's kind of funny in hindsight to think that they were doing that way back then. Oh, there's a Minecraft movie, by the way, if anybody cared. Okay, last thing. Where is it? This happened yesterday, I think. Where is Kingsman? There it is. I'm sorry. The King's Man. That's hard to get used to. The King's Man, because the series is called Kingsman. One word. Kingsman. Now it's calling it The King's Man. I'm never going to get used to that. But yeah, it was supposed to come out September 18th. It's now coming out February 26th. I'm not shocked by this. I've seen 0 ads for it at all. I've seen ads for Unhinged. I've seen ads for New Mutants. I've seen ads for Tenet. I've seen 0 ads for The King's Man. Not one. Not one. So that left me very concerned that something would happen, and boom, it happened. Honestly, I'm not very excited about The King's Man. I mean, I love the first Kingsman. I really do. It's definitely one of my favorite action movies in recent memory. I did not like Kingsman 2. I thought that was a really extreme disappointment. It didn't land for me, which is weird because it had the same people from the first movie. Theoretically, this one should have been just as good, but it wasn't. And it just kind of turned me off from the whole franchise. Like, I was never excited about The King's Man, which is a prequel, because when you're making a prequel, it's rare when a prequel is a good decision, because most of the time it just feels unnecessary, and you're just making this for money and not because it's better to move the story forward rather than going backwards. It just is, because when you're going backwards, it feels less genuine. It feels like we're just doing this because we need money. That's what it feels like to me. So, yeah. But for those of you who were interested in the Kingsman, I'm sorry, but you're gonna have to wait a couple more months. Maybe. Depends. If nothing else bad happens. And that is it. That's it. There's not. That's pretty much it. Yeah. I mean, after part 15, I thought I was more or less done, but clearly I was wrong because this happened. I mean, I don't know how many more movies from 2020 can get moved back. I mean, I highly doubt Tenet is gonna move back now. I don't think Wonder Woman's gonna move back. I don't think Candyman's gonna move back. Connected, maybe, because that's a family movie, and releasing a family movie in this environment is not a smart move. Black Widow, who knows? No Time to Die, it might stay there. Soul, huge question mark. That might just go to Disney Plus if this Mulan thing works out with that. And apparently, I think they mentioned it here. There was a Coming to America 2. That's the Paramount's only 2020 movie left. But they say unless they move A Quiet Place Part 2 back to 2020. That could happen. You know, Quiet Place 2 is complete. There's no more work that needs to be done with that movie. So if they wanted to, they could move it back. They can move it back to 2020. But we won't know until it happens. And so, yeah, hopefully I don't know. I don't know. Even with theaters opening up, everything's so uncertain. It's just, it's wild. It's really wild. 2020 has been the craziest year of my entire life, which is saying a lot. So, yeah. All right, that's it. That's all. Make sure to subscribe, like this video, leave a comment, turn on notifications, share the whole drill. I don't know about part 17. Again, this whole series depends on if news drops. You know, if news drops, if it's more than one movie, then I will talk about it. I will make a video on it. But if it's just one movie, no. But if it's multiple, yes. But again, it depends on when the news drops. I'm gonna be making New Mutants prediction, a Tenet prediction. I think the Broken Hearts Gallery, that's back on the schedule, so I'll have to make a prediction video on that. And then I won't have really anything else to predict other than Wonder Woman in October, and then the rest of 2020. So, yeah. Anyway, that's it. That's all. I am out. Goodbye.